Dear students, Assalamualaikum. I welcome all of you in the lecture 7 for the course series Research Methods in Special Education. And this course is designed for the program MA Special Education Semester 4 with the course code SPT 3116. आज का जो हमारा टॉपिक है वो हम बात करने जा रहे हैं वैलिडिटी इन रिसर्च. I'm your resource person, Dr. Afaf Manzoor, working in Department of Special Education, University of Education, Lahore. You can access me on afaf.manzoor@ue.edu.pk. हमारा जो आज का एजेंडा है जिसमें कि हम डिस्कस करेंगे, सबसे पहले हम जानने की कोशिश करेंगे कि टेस्ट क्या है. बिकॉज जो हम वैलिडिटी मेजर करने जा रहे हैं वो किसी न किसी टेस्ट की वैलिडिटी होती है. टेस्ट को वैलिड किया जाता है कि आया वो वैलिड है या नहीं है. तो हम सबसे पहले डेफिनेशन ऑफ टेस्ट देखेंगे और फिर ये जानेंगे कि टेस्ट को वैल्यूट करना क्यों ज़रूरी है. देन वी विल सी द असेसिंग टेस्ट और इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स की किस तरह से जो है उसको इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स को असेस किया जाता है और टाइप्स ऑफ वैलिडिटी जो है वो भी हमारे आज के एजेंडे में शामिल है. सो हियर आर फ्यू लर्निंग आउटकम्स जो कि हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि हमारे स्टूडेंट्स जब इसको लेक्चर को सुनेंगे या वीडियो को देखेंगे तो वो इस काबिल हो जाएंगे दैट दे कुड अंडरस्टैंड टेस्ट एंड स्टैंडर्डाइज टेस्ट. They know about the importance of test evaluation and they be able to validate tests through various forms of validation. So let's start. What is test? So as you have many noticed that the word test has thus far been carefully avoided. Test का जो लफ्ज़ है इसको बड़ा केयरफुली इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए और अगर कहीं ज़रूरत है तो आप उसको इस्तेमाल करें. Why? Because it's like a pressure. जब आप किसी भी स्टूडेंट को ये कहते हैं कि यू आर गोइंग टू बी टेस्ट तो एक प्रेशर जो है उस टेस्ट का उसके ऊपर डेवलप हो जाता है. लाइक एक एंजाइटी डेवलप हो जाती है कि पता नहीं मुझसे क्या जाना जाएगा और इस टेस्ट की बुनियाद पे मेरे बारे में क्या राय कायम की जाएगी. सो ऐसी क्या चीज़ है जो कि हम टेस्ट के थ्रू जो है वो जानने की कोशिश करते हैं. ये टेस्ट करने का क्या पर्पस हो सकता है. So a test is not necessarily a written test of questions to which an individual responds in order to determine whether he or she passes. So a more inclusive definition जो कि LRK अपने उसमें बताता है वो कहता है कि a test is a means of measuring the knowledge, skill, feeling, intelligence or aptitude of an individual or group. यानी टेस्ट जो है एक ज़रिया है किसी के भी नॉलेज को मेजर करने का. यानी कि कोई किसी भी चीज़ के बारे में कितना इल्म रखता है, उस किसी भी ख़ास फील्ड में स्किल जो है उसकी वो कितनी हद तक है. स्किल क्या है, जैसे रीडिंग और राइटिंग इज़ अ स्किल, उसको हम टेस्ट के थ्रू मेजर करते हैं. इस तरह से फीलिंग्स कि आप क्या फील करते हैं किसी चीज़ के बारे में, आपका क्या एटीट्यूड है किसी के बारे में. लाइक इंटेलिजेंस को भी मेजर टेस्ट के थ्रू किया जाता है. फिर एप्टीट्यूड है. एप्टीट्यूड मीन्स कि आप किसी चीज़ के बारे में कितने आपका उसके लिए इंटरेस्ट है, आप कितने कॉन्फिडेंट हैं, आप कितने स्किल्ड हैं किसी ख़ास चीज़ को फ्यूचर में ऑब्टेन करने के लिए. तो डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ टेस्ट जो है वो इस्तेमाल किए जाते हैं जिसमें कि कुछ जो हैं वो एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट होते हैं, कुछ जो है अचीवमेंट टेस्ट होते हैं. और जो अचीवमेंट टेस्ट हैं वो बेसिकली आफ्टर द कम्प्लीशन ऑफ सम डिलीवरी और कंटेंट जो है वो किया जाता है ये जानने के लिए या फिर ये डिसीजन लेने के लिए कि जो कुछ पढ़ा है वो कितनी हद तक सीख लिया है और नेक्स्ट इसको कहाँ तक प्रमोट किया जा सकता है. और जो एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट हैं, दीज टेस्ट आर बेसिकली डिज़ाइंड एज एन एंट्री टेस्ट फॉर वेरियस कोर्सेज और वेरियस प्रोग्राम्स. So test can produce numerous scores that can be used to identify, classify और evaluate test tasks. और इसके जो टेस्ट जो हैं जो प्रोड्यूस किए जाते हैं इसका मकसद ये होता है कि वो जो डिफरेंट किस्म के स्कोर्स जो हैं वो प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं उसके थ्रू हम आइडेंटिफाई कर सकें, क्लासीफाई कर सकें और एवेल्यूएट कर सकें. सो टेस्ट ऑब्जेक्टिविटी इज़ अ मस्ट. यानी इसको इसमें कोई सब्जेक्टिविटी नहीं होनी चाहिए, बिल्कुल ऑब्जेक्टिव होके जो है उसको डिफाइन करना चाहिए. So regardless of the type of test being sought, there are certain kinds of information that should be available about any standardized test. So this information or lack of it forms the basis for test selection. अब ये जो वैलिडिटी है ये टेस्ट की बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज स्पेसिफिकेशन ऑफ कंडीशंस, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, डायरेक्शंस फॉर स्कोरिंग एंड गाइडलाइंस आर इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर्स ऑफ टेस्ट. जब आप टेस्ट को इंश्योर करना चाहते हैं कि ये टेस्ट जो है बिल्कुल हर तरह से ठीक है, तो उसमें हम सिर्फ यही नहीं है कि आपने टेस्ट बना लिया बहुत अच्छे तरीके से, बल्कि टेस्ट की तमाम कंडीशंस, यानी आप किस एनवायरनमेंट में उससे टेस्ट ले रहे हैं, हु इज़ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिंग द टेस्ट, क्या टेस्ट लेते हुए कोई प्रेशर तो डेवलप नहीं किया जा रहा है, डायरेक्शन ऑफ स्कोरिंग क्या है, गाइडलाइंस क्या दी जा रही हैं, और इम्पॉर्टेंट करेक्टरिस्टिक्स जो हैं, ये सब टेस्ट की इम्पॉर्टेंट करेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं। वाई टू एवलुएट टेस्ट से पहले हम अगर बात करें कि स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड टेस्ट क्या होता है। स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड टेस्ट्स आर टिपिकली डेवलप्ड बाय एक्सपर्ट्स and are therefore well constructed. Individual test items are analyzed and revised until they meet given standards of quality. So directions for administrating, scoring, and interpreting standard tests are carefully specified. One resulting characteristic of extended test is referred to as an objectivity. जैसे कि हमने पहले बात की. So in essence, test objectivity means that an individual score is the same or essentially the same regardless of who is doing the scoring. Another major characteristic of standardized tests is the existence of validity and reliability. So validity is the most important quality of any test. Validity is concerned with what a test measures and for whom it is appropriate. So specification of conditions of administration is very important characteristics of a standardized test. This ensures that if directions are carefully followed, the test will always be administered the same way and will always yield the same kind of data. If directions are carefully spelled out, even a beginning researcher should be able to properly administer most tests. So why it is important to evaluate tests? To make sure that a test measures the skill, trait or attribute is supposed to measure, and to yield responsible, consistent results for the same individual. यानी अगेन एंड अगेन कहीं भी वो टेस्ट अप्लाई किया जा रहा है तो वही फाइंडिंग्स के रिजल्ट्स जो हैं आ रहे हैं. And to measure with reasonable degree of accuracy, a good test must first of all be valid. तो किसी भी तरह से जो भी good test है उसको valid करना पड़ता है. So validity is totally indispensable. There is no quality or virtue of test that can compensate for an inadequate validity. So assessing instruments, जब हम instruments को assess कर रहे होते हैं तो there are basically three issues to be concerned. The first one is validity. जैसे कि हमने पहले जिक्र किया, validity क्या है? Does the instrument measures what it's supposed to measure? क्या instrument वही measure करने जा रहा है जो कि हम measure करना चाहते थे? The second thing is reliability. Does it consistently repeat the same measurement? यानी वही measurement again and again आती है. ये ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हम उसको एक दफ़ा में अप्लाई किया तो कोई और measurement आई, दूसरी दफ़ा में करेंगे तो कुछ और आएगा. So this is also I issue to consider while assessing instrument. Third one is practicality. So it is a practical instrument, यानी practically वो चीज़ें implement हो रही हैं या नहीं हो रही हैं. So let's start with the validity. Validity is important characteristics of scientific instrument. साइंटिफिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट हम क्यों कह रहे हैं? जैसे कि हम पहले कहते हैं किसी भी रिसर्च को कंडक्ट करने के लिए हम साइंटिफिक मेथड या अप्रोच यूज़ करते हैं. तो साइंटिफिक मेथड या अप्रोच यूज़ करते हुए डेफिनेटली हम इंस्ट्रूमेंट यूज़ करेंगे, वो भी साइंटिफिक होगा. सो द टर्म वैलिडिटी मीन्स ट्रूथ और फिडेलिटी. अगर हम वैलिडिटी का ओवरऑल मीन है तो उसका मतलब है हकीकत. सो दिस वैलिडिटी रेफर्स टू द डिग्री टू विच अ टेस्ट मेजर्स व्हाट इज क्लेम्स टू मेजर. इंस्ट्रूमेंट मेजर्स व्हाट इज सपोज टू मेजर. एलआर गे जो है उसने बड़े डिटेल जो है उसकी डेफिनेशन बता दी है कि एक ऐसी डिग्री है, वैलिडिटी जो है वो डिग्री को डिफाइन करता है जो कि ये हमें बताता है कि जो हम मेजर करने जा रहे थे क्या हम वही मेजर कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे हैं. सो कॉमन मिसकंसेप्शन इज दैट अ टेस्ट इज और इज नॉट. ये कहा जाता है कि टेस्ट है या नहीं है वैलिड. अ टेस्ट इज नॉट वैलिड पर एज it is valid for a particular purpose and for a particular group. The question is not valid or invalid. मसला ये नहीं है कि वो valid है या नहीं है, बल्कि मसला ये है या क्वेश्चन ये बनता है valid for what and for whom. यानी वो जो valid है वो किसके लिए है और किस तरह से. किस चीज़ के लिए वैलिड। अब इसकी मैं आपको मज़ीद एक्सप्लेन करती हूँ। A valid test of biology achievement is not very likely to be a valid personality test. जो हम एक बायोलॉजी के लिए अचीवमेंट टेस्ट बनाते हैं वो कभी भी पर्सनैलिटी अचीवमेंट टेस्ट के रिजल्ट वैसे नहीं दे सकता. So it will be obvious to almost anyone looking at this test of biology achievement that the test did not measure any aspect of personality. So it would probably not be quite as evident whether the test was a valid measure for biology friends or biology principles. If either, with respect to the form home aspects of validity, a test which is valid measure of vocabulary for high school students is certainly not a valid measure for section graders. So again, this would undoubtedly be self-evident to anyone examining a high school level test. It might not be evident whether the test was valid for both ninth and seniors. To further clarify the concept of valid for what and for whom, let us apply the concept of valid to teaching. In general, a valid teacher is one who teaches whether he or she is supposed to teach, or if you prefer who students learn what they are supposed to learn. But a teacher, no matter how outstanding, is not valid per se. A teacher is a valid for a particular purpose, that is a particular area of instruction and a particular age or grade level. यानी आप बात समझ रहे हैं ना कि टीचर जो है वो टीचर तो है, लेकिन हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि जो प्राइमरी टीचर है वो उतना ही इफेक्टिव टीचर हो सकता है सेकेंडरी स्कूल टीचर के तौर पर, या एक इंग्लिश टीचर जो है उसकी वैलिडिटी अपने सब्जेक्ट में जो है वो बेहतर हो सकती है, वो कभी भी मैथ्स के लिए उतना वैलिड टीचर नहीं हो सकता, राइट. So a valid kindergarten teacher is not very likely also to be a valid high school teacher, and a valid high school trigonometry teacher is not very likely to also to be a valid high school physical education teacher. While the above analogy is admitted rules, the concept it illustrates is important. So it is the valid for whom concerns that makes the description of a norm group so important. Only to the degree that person in the norm group are like the persons to whom we wish to administer the test can proper interpretation of results be made. So formally assessing the validity of specific use of an instrument can be a laborious and time-consuming process, and validity is assessed through qualitative expert opinion rather than on empirical evidence. Anastasi 1968 has said that the validity of a test concerns what the test measures and how well it does. यानी ये टेस्ट जो है मेजर करता है वो कितने बेहतरीन तरीके से जो है वो मेजर करता है. एक और डेफिनेशन देख लेते हैं. Paraphrasing the definition of validity from the influence standards for educational and psychological testing, वो ये कहता है कि a test is valid to the extent that inferences made from it are appropriate and meaningful and useful. So in broad sense, validity is concerned with generalizability. When a test is valid one, it means its conclusions can be generalized in relation to general population. So since tests are designed for a variety of purposes and since validity can be evaluated only in terms of purpose, it is not surprising that there are several different types of validity. Okay, but before discussing the different types of validity, we are going to discuss first the properties of the validity. So here are three important properties for the validity. First one is validity is relative term. A test is not generally valid. It is valid only for particular purpose. For example, a test for statistical ability will be valid only for measuring statistical ability because it is put only to the use of measuring that ability, and it will be worthless to use for other measuring like history and geography. यानी ये वही बात है कि it is valid for whom, it is valid for what. मीन्स रिलेटिव टर्म है. आप कभी भी ये नहीं कह सकते कि जो टेस्ट वैलिड है वो हर एक के लिए वैलिड होगा, बल्कि ये रिलेट करता है, यानी जिस खास मकसद के लिए टेस्ट बनाया गया है, जिस खास सब्जेक्ट के लिए बनाया गया है, जिस खास ग्रुप के लिए बनाया गया है, खास डोमेन के लिए बनाया गया है, ये उसी के लिए वैलिड है. इसको आप इससे नहीं कंसिडर कर सकते कि वो किसी भी और फील्ड में आप इस टेस्ट को अप्लाई करें तो आपके पास सेम रिजल्ट जो हैं वो आना शुरू हो जाए. द सेकेंड प्रॉपर्टी इज वैलिडिटी इज नॉट अ फिक्स प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द टेस्ट because validation is not a fixed process, rather it is an unending process. ये कभी भी फिक्स नहीं हो जाता कि दिस इज़ द एंड और दिस इज़ द फाइनल थिंग, बिकॉज इट्स एन ऑनगोइंग प्रोसेस, an unending process, so it continues. The third property is like validity, like reliability is a matter of degree. It is a matter of degree, means you have to define a degree, you have determine a degree, और उस लेवल ऑफ डिग्री के ऊपर आप जाके कहते हैं कि हाँ अगर ये 70% तक आ जाता है, अगर ये 80% तक आ जाता है, फॉर से यू कैन डिटरमिन फॉर द 60%, तो इट कैन बी अ वैलिड. So not an all or a non-property. A test meant for measuring a particular trait or ability cannot be said to be either perfectly valid or not valid at all. Like properties of validity, we will discuss some purposes of testing validity. Why we do the test validity. जैसे कि हमने पहले भी उसको जिक्र किया, लेकिन अगर हम इसको आप थोड़ा सा कंसाइसली देख लें तो देयर आर थ्री मेन पर्पस ऑफ टेस्टिंग वैलिडिटी. हम मकसद हासिल करना चाहते हैं बेसिकली, जो बेसिक से अलावा भी कुछ हो सकते हैं, लेकिन बेसिक हमारे जो तीन मकासद हैं उनको हासिल करने के लिए हम किसी भी टेस्ट पे वैलिडिटी को इंश्योर करने की कोशिश करते हैं. So the first one is representing of a certain specified area of content. It means the tester may wish to determine how an examinee performs at present in a sample of situation that the test claims to represent. यानी आप उसके लिए किसी खास जो कंटेंट है वो उसको रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है, इसको डिटरमिन करने की कोशिश करते हैं. Second purpose is establishment of a functional relationship with a variable available at present or in future. यानी आप एक रिलेशनशिप को इस्टेब्लिश करने की कोशिश कर रहे होते हैं वेरिएबल के दरमियान. द टेस्टर मे विश टू प्रेडिक्ट एन एग्जामिनीज फ्यूचर स्टैंडिंग ऑन ए सर्टेन वेरिएबल और ही मे विश टू डिटरमिन हिज प्रेजेंट स्टैंडिंग ऑन ए पर्टिकुलर वेरिएबल. यानी या तो आप उसकी जो है वो प्रेजेंट स्टैंडिंग को मेजर कर रहे हैं या आप उसकी फ्यूचर स्टैंडिंग को प्रेडिक्ट करने की कोशिश करें. जैसे कि मैंने आपको शुरू में बताया कि देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ मेन टाइप्स ऑफ टेस्ट. देयर कैन बी आइदर मोर, बट जो हम तो यूजुअली आमतौर पे हम यूज़ करते हैं वैसे तो तीन हैं. एक डायग्नोसिस टेस्ट भी है जो कि हम डायग्नोस करने के लिए करते हैं, लेकिन जो एकेडमिकली हम ज़्यादातर यूज़ करते हैं वो अचीवमेंट टेस्ट है, एंड दैट अदर वन इज़ एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट. सो इन फर्स्ट कंडीशन जो कि हम ये कह रहे हैं कि फ्यूचर स्टैंडिंग को एग्जामिन करने की कोशिश करते हैं वो एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट के थ्रू करते हैं, और जो प्रेजेंट स्टैंडिंग है वो हम अचीवमेंट टेस्ट के थ्रू करते हैं. तो जो बेसिक पर्पस है एक वैलिडिटी का वो ये इंश्योर करना है कि हम उनके दरमियान में जो रिलेशनशिप है उसको इस्टेब्लिश कर रहे हैं. तीसरा मकसद जो है दैट इज मेजरमेंट ऑफ ए हाइपोथेटिकल ट्रेट और क्वालिटी और कंस्ट्रक्ट. A tester may wish to determine the extent to which an examinee possesses some trait as made by the test performance. यानी हम ये जानने की कोशिश करते हैं कि कितनी हद तक जो एग्जामिनी है, जो इम्तिहान देने वाला है, टेस्ट अपियर होने वाला है, उसके अंदर किसी भी खास ट्रेट या क्वालिटी कितनी हद तक जो है वो पाई जाती है, उसको मेजर करने की कोशिश की जाती है. So after discussing the purpose, now let's start with the types of validity or the forms of validity. Usually there are three forms of validity. One is content validity, the other one is criterion validity, which has further two types, concurrent validity and predictive validity, and third type is construct validity. Let's discuss one by one. The first form or type of validity is content validity. So content validity is the degree to which a test measures an intended content area. जैसे कि नाम से जाहिर है, हम इसमें ये जानने की कोशिश करते हैं कि जो हमारा कंटेंट एरिया था, क्या टेस्ट जो है उस कंटेंट को ही मेजर कर रहा है या नहीं कर रहा. कंटेंट वैलिडिटी रिक्वायर्स बोथ आइटम वैलिडिटी एंड सैम्पलिंग वैलिडिटी. इसमें हम आइटम वैलिडिटी और सैम्पलिंग वैलिडिटी दोनों को इंश्योर कर रहे होते हैं. सो रिलेटेड टू सब्जेक्टिव और देयर सैम्पलिंग. Content validity refers to the connections between the test items and the subject-related tasks. The test should evaluate only the content related to the field of study in a manner sufficiently representative, relevant, and comprehensive. Psychometric are of the view that content validity requires both item validity and sample validity. So, item validity is concerned with whether the test items represent measurement in the intended content area. And the sampling validity, sometimes called logical validity, is how well the test covers all of the areas you want it to cover. So a test designed to measure knowledge of biology facts might have good item validity because all the items do indeed deal with the biology facts, but might have poor sampling validity. For example, if all the items deal only with vertebrates, a test with good content validity adequately samples the appropriate content area. So this is important because we cannot possibly measure each and every aspect of a certain content area. The required test would be homogeneous. So such inferences are only possible if the test items adequately sample the domain of possible items. So sometimes face validity is also called to describe test. While its meaning is somewhat ambiguous. Basically, face validity refers to the degree of which a test appears to measure what it proposed to measure. While determining face validity is not a psychometric sound way of estimating validity, the purpose is sometimes used as an initial screening procedures in test selection. So, content validity is of prime importance for achievement tests. A test score cannot accurately reflect a student's achievement if it does not measure what the student was supposed to learn. So while this seems obvious, content validity has been a problem in a number of research studies. So many studies are designed to compare the effectiveness of two or more different ways of teaching the same thing. Effectiveness is often defined in terms of fine achievement of the treatment groups as measured by a test. So it is sometimes the case the test used is more content valid for one of the groups than for the others. So when this happens, final achievement differences may be at least partially attributed to the test used and not just to the teaching methods. So इसके कुछ specific procedures जो हैं उसके लिए test validity is assessed on the basis of expert opinion on the representation and rigor of the test. The panel of experts include experts of content area and testing, and content validity is built into the test from the onset through the choice of appropriate items. सो एज आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर कि जो हम इसकी डिटरमिन करते हैं कंटेंट वैल्यू हम एक्सपर्ट जजमेंट से करते हैं, यानी हम इसके अंदर एक्सपर्ट्स को जो है वो इंक्लूड करते हैं. देयर इज़ नो फॉर्मूला बाय विच इट कैन बी computed and there is no way to express it quantitatively. Usually, experts in the area covered by the test are asked to assess its content validity. These experts carefully review the process used in developing the tests as well as the test itself and make a judgment concerning how an item represents the intended content area. The judgment is based on whether all sub areas have been included and in the correct proportions. In other words, a comparison is made between what ought to be included in the test and given its intended purpose and what is actually included. So, when selecting a test for research study, the researcher assumes the role of experts and determines whether the test is content valid for her or his study. The researcher compares what will be taught in the study with what is measured by the test. So I do hope that you must be understand about the कंटेंट वैलिडिटी और आपको ने जान लिया कि इसके हम किस तरीके से दो तरीके हैं बेसिकली एग्जामिन करने के. एक हम जो मोस्ट कॉमन है दैट इज़ एक्सपर्ट जजमेंट, सेकंड वन इज़ statistical analysis. So statistic analysis ensures all the items measure the same things. Statistic test by correlations of scores of tests by another same test. The high correlation would provide the index for the content validity. So following points should be carefully ensure full content validation of test. The area of content items should be specified explicitly so that all major portions in equal proportions be adequately covered by the items. Item writer includes such items which are readily available and are easily written. Before the item writing starts, the content area should be fully defined in clear words and must include the objectives. The relevance of content of items should be established in the light of examining responses to those contents, not in the light of apparent relevance of the content. Face validity, as I was discussing earlier, is also comes in this content validity. It's often confused with content validity, but in the strict sense, it is quite different. Face validity refers not to what the test actually claims to measure, but to what it appears to measure superficially. In other words, face validity is mere appearance that the test has validity. Thus, face validity should not be taken in the technical sense, nor should be regarded as a substitute for objectively determined validity. So, when the test item looks valid to the group of examinees, the test is said to have face validity. Thus, face validity in fact a matter of social acceptability and not a technical form of validity like content validity. Let's discuss our next type of validity, that is criterion validity. So, criterion related validity जो है is a very common and popular type of test validity. As its name implies, criterion related is one which is obtained by comparing or correlating the test scores with scores obtained on a criterion available at present or to be available in the future. यानी एक क्राइटेरिया को सामने रख के हम उसको वैलिडिटी को इंश्योर करने की कोशिश करते हैं. ऑल्सो रेफर टू एज इंस्ट्रूमेंटल वैलिडिटी. इट स्टेट्स दैट द क्राइटेरिया शुड बी क्लियरली डिफाइंड बाय द टेस्टर इन एडवांस and it has to take into account other testers' criteria to be standardized, and it also needs to demonstrate the accuracy of a measure or procedure compared to another measure or procedure which has already been demonstrated to be valid. So there are two subtypes of criterion validity जो कि हम use करते हैं. One is predictive validity and other is concurrent validity. So, predictive validity is the degree to which a test can predict how well an individual will do in future situation. It is also called empirical validity or statistical validity. So, as the name implies, in other words, test scores are obtained and then a time gap of months or years is allowed to elapse, after which the criterion scores are other obtained. The test scores and the criterion scores are correlated and obtained. Correlations become the index of validity coefficient. Predictive validity is needed for tests which include long-range forecast of academic achievement, forecast of success, and forecast of reaction to the therapy. An example with which you are all too familiar is the use of graduate record examination, जिसको आप GRE scores test भी कहते हैं, to select students for admission to graduate school. Many graduate schools require a certain minimum score for admission. The predictive validity of the GRE has been the subject of many research studies. Results seems to indicate that the GRE has higher predictive validity for certain areas of graduate study than for others. For example, while it appears to have satisfactory predictive validity for predicting success in graduate studies in English, its validity in predicting success in an art education program appears to be questionable. So also in general, GRE subject tests for specific areas of graduate students tend to be better predictors of first year GPA than the GRE general test. Another example that illustrates the critical importance of predictive validity is the use of tests to determine which students should be assigned to special education classes. The decision to remove a child from the normal educational environment and to place him or her in a special class is a serious one. So in this situation, it is imperative that the decision be based on the results of valid measures. So no test, of course, has perfect predictive validity. Therefore, predictions based on the scores of any test will be imperfect. However, predictions based on a common combination of several test scores will invariably be more accurate than predictions based on the scores of any other test. I will also like to discuss briefly the procedure of determining predictive validity. सबसे पहले हम ये करते हैं कि administer the test, the predictor variable to a group. उसके बाद wait until the behavior to be predicted, the criterion variable occurs. Then obtained measures of the criteria for the same group. Then we correlate the two test scores, and finally we evaluate the results. So discuss concurrent validity. It's very similar to predictive validity, except that there is no time gap in obtaining test scores and criterion scores. The test is correlated with a criterion which is available at the present time. The stronger the correlation is, the greater the concurrent validity of the test. So more suitable for diagnosis of the present status rather than prediction of the future outcome. यानी इसमें हम जो present status है उसको diagnose करने के लिए इसको हम use करते हैं. So we can also say that is the degree to which the scores on test are related to the scores on another already established. So test administered at the same time or some other valid criterion available at the same time. So paper and pencil test that does not sample same job as performance test, or short test that measures the same behavior as longer test would certainly be preferred, especially in a research study. So concurrent validity is determined by establishing relationships or discrimination. The relationship method involves determining the relationship between scores on the test and scores on some other established tests or criteria, जैसे कि GPA. In this case, the steps involved in determining concurrent validity. तो concurrent validity है उसके लिए हम basically 4 steps देखते हैं, जिसमें कि हम सबसे पहले करते हैं administer new test to a defined group of individuals, then administer a previous established valid test to the same group and the same time or shortly thereafter. Then we correlate the two sets of scores and finally we evaluate the results. Now let's discuss the third type, that is construct validity. Construct validity is the degree to which a test measures an intended hypothetical construct. A construct is a non-observable trait such as intelligence, which explains behavior. You cannot see a construct, you can only observe its effects. In fact, constructs were intended to explain behavior. So, the term construct validity was first introduced in 1954 in the Technical Recommendations of the American Psychologists Association, and since then has been frequently used by measurement theorists. Construct validity is more complex and difficult process than content and criterion validity. Hence, an investigator decides to compute construct validity only when he is fully satisfied that neither any valid and reliable criterion is available to him, nor any universe of content entirely satisfactory and adequate to define the quality of the test. So research studies that involve a construct either as an independent or dependent variable are only valid to the extent that the measure of construct involved is valid. For example, we take anxiety. Anxiety की मिसाल अगर हम ले लें, it can be independent or dependent variable. A study might be designed to determine whether high anxiety students perform better or on difficult tasks than low anxiety students. A test of anxiety would need not to be administered to the students in the study in order to classify them as high anxiety or low anxiety. An other study might be designed to determine whether microcomputer-assisted instruction results in lower anxiety among slow learners than traditional instructions. A test of anxiety would need to be administered to both groups at the conclusions of the study. In both cases, the validity of findings would be a direct function of the validity of anxiety test used. If the test did not really measure anxiety, conclusions based on a study that utilized it would be meaningless. When selecting a test of a given construct, the researcher must look for and critically evaluate evidence presented related to the construct validity of the instrument. So the process of validating a test of a construct is by no means an incident. Anastasia 1968 defines construct validity as the extent to which the test may be said to measure as a theoretical construct or trait. Construct is non-observable trait such as intelligence, anxiety and all this. इसके process को हम discuss कर लेते हैं. अगर to specify the possible different measures of the construct, here the investigator defines the construct in clear words and also states one of the many supposed measures of the construct. जैसे कि हमने intelligence की मिसाल ली. So, investigator first to define the term intelligence, and in the light of definition, he would be expected to specify the different measures. Number of specifications may be made are quick decisions in difficult tasking, ability to learn, goal-oriented, original, and critical thinking. यानी उसने ये सारी चीज़ें जो define कर दी हैं इस construct के ऊपर जो है आप उसको measure करना चाहते हैं उसकी validity. Second step में हम क्या करते हैं, determining the extent of correlation between all or some of the measures of construct. So this step, determining whether or not those well specified measures actually lead to the measurement of the concerned construct, this is done through correlation with each other. If the measures of correlation become high, then we get much evidence that they are measuring the same things. In this, the investigation often thrown into a dispute before the final decision. Because of maybe high correlation between some measures or zero correlation. Number three step is determining whether or not all or some measures act as if they were measuring the construct. The next step is to determine whether or not such measure behave with reference to another variables of interest in an expected manner. If they behave expected manner, it means they providing evidence for the construct validity. For example, highly correlating measures from among the above supposed reference for intelligence should show moderate correlations with the teacher's rating rate in class and examinations mark. It is difficult process. So after discussing the types of validity, now let's discuss the factors influencing validity. Validity of test is influenced by several factors. Some of the important factors are here. Length of the test. Homogeneous lengthening of the test not only increases the reliability but also the validity of the test. The longer the test, the more reliable and valid it becomes. The second factor is range of ability. Like reliability, validity is also influenced by the range of ability of the sample used. If the subject have a very limited range of ability, that is like wider range of scores is not possible, the validity of coefficient will be low. On the other hand, if the subjects have a wider range of ability so that a wider range of scores is obtained, the validity coefficient of the test would be enhanced. The third one factor is ambiguous direction. If the direction of the tests are ambiguous, it would be differently interpreted by different examiners. Moreover, such items tend to encourage guessing on the part of the examinees. As a consequence, the validity of tests would be lowered. Another factor is socio-cultural difference. Cultural differences among different societies are likely to affect the validity of a test. A particular test developed in one culture may not be valid for another culture because of the difference in the socio-economic status, sex ratios, and social norms, etc. The other one factor is addition of inappropriate items. When inappropriate items, particularly vague ones whose difficulty values differ widely from the original items, are added to the test, they are likely to lower both the reliability and the validity of the test. So thank you very much for hearing today. Hope you understand the process of the validity in a better manner. If you have any questions or concerns, you may ask me in your Google Classroom. I'll try to answer you there. Thank you very much.